No one leaves the pig farm, inspired by the Robert Pickton killings. People always assume you can feel danger when it's close, like there's some switch that flips in your head, some instinct that screams run before it's too late. That's not how it happened for me. What I felt first was relief. I hadn't slept indoors in 3 days. The rain had soaked through my jacket, my shoes, everything. When the man pulled up beside me on that empty road and asked if I needed a ride, I didn't hesitate. That should have been my first mistake. He didn't look scary, didn't act strange, didn't ask questions he shouldn't have. He just smiled, nodded, and said he had a place nearby where I could dry off, somewhere warm. I noticed the smell before I saw the farm. It wasn't strong, just faint enough to make me wrinkle my nose, like metal and damp earth. He apologized for it, laughed it off, said it was the animals. That's when I heard them, the pigs. They were loud, restless. Their sounds carried through the fog like echoes bouncing off something hollow. It made the place feel bigger than it was, like the noise didn't quite fit the space. He parked and told me to wait while he unlocked the trailer. I thought about running. I didn't. Inside, the walls were thin and stained yellow with age. The floor creaked under my weight. There was a small bed, a sink, and nothing else. No photos, no decorations, no signs anyone actually lived there. He handed me a towel and said I could stay the night. Then he locked the door behind me. At first, I assumed it was for safety. Rural areas are dangerous at night, right? But then I tested the handle. It was locked. I knocked, lightly at first, then harder. No answer. That's when the pigs changed. Their noises shifted. Less chaotic, more focused. The squeals turned sharp, desperate, overlapping in a way that made my stomach tighten. It wasn't feeding time. I knew that. Even without knowing pigs, I could tell. Something was wrong. I sat on the edge of the bed trying to calm myself when I noticed the marks on the wall, scratches. At first I thought they were just old damage, but when I leaned closer, I realized they weren't random. They were names, carved into the wall with something sharp, some deep, some faint. Some crossed out so hard the wall beneath was torn apart. There were dates next to a few of them, most stopped mid-sentence. That's when I heard chewing, not slurping, not tearing, chewing, slow, methodical, like someone eating with patience. It came from outside, from the direction of the pens. I covered my ears, but it didn't help. The sound wasn't loud, it was persistent. The kind of noise your brain refuses to ignore once it recognizes it. I remember thinking about how hungry the pigs had sounded earlier. I remember wishing I hadn't. Footsteps crunched outside the trailer. Heavy boots, unrushed, the door unlocked. He stood there for a moment without speaking, just watching me, like he was deciding something. Then he smiled, not wide, not dramatic, just tired. "You'll make this easier if you don't fight," he said. I begged. I won't pretend I didn't. I told him I wouldn't tell anyone, that no one would notice I was gone, that he didn't have to do this. He nodded. That's why it works. He didn't hurt me right away. He waited. That's what haunts me most. He left me alone again, locked in the trailer. While the pigs outside grew louder, hungrier. I could hear them pushing against the fencing, snorting, squealing, scraping the ground. Time stretched. Minutes felt like hours. I thought about my family, people I hadn't called back, messages I never answered, all the times I assumed there would be more time later. There wasn't. When he came back, he brought a flashlight. And that's when I realized something worse. There were fresh names on the wall, ones I hadn't noticed before, ones carved shallow, like they hadn't had time to finish. The pigs were quiet now, too quiet. He opened the door and gestured for me to stand. My legs didn't want to work. My body felt disconnected, like I was watching someone else move. The night air hit me hard, cold, wet, heavy. We walked toward the pens. I won't describe what I saw there. I don't need to. You already know. What I will tell you is this. The pigs never looked at him, only at me, as if they knew. As if this wasn't the first time, as if it was routine. If you're hearing this story, it means I didn't make it out, but maybe you still can. If someone offers you help that feels too easy, if a place feels empty in the wrong way, if animals sound like they're waiting for something, don't stay, because some farms don't raise animals. They just get rid of people. And the pigs, the pigs never stop eating. If you made it to the end, take a moment before you click away. Some stories don't end when the narration stops. If you want to hear more true-to-life horror like this, stories that feel a little too real, subscribe and keep your notifications on. New stories are uploaded regularly, and you won't want to miss the next one. Good night, and stay safe.